Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Eric Johansson, a teacher with LSAT Demon. With me is Nathan Fox, the co-founder of LSATdemon.com and the weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. Today, an email from Anonymous.
Okay, so their GPA and LSAT are very, very good. Close to perfect.
Yeah.
Anonymous says, I got into WashU a couple weeks ago and I had to schedule a Zoom call with the admissions folk to talk about scholarships. The whole thing lasted 5 to 10 minutes and it didn't feel like much information was exchanged either way.
Yeah, I'll jump in to say that I experienced this same thing. Maybe some of our listeners have as well. WashU, as far as I can tell, is unique in this regard in that you have a Zoom interview as part of your admissions decision. And then once you're in, you schedule another Zoom interview to talk about scholarship. And to give you some context, here's the email that I received from WashU to prompt to schedule this scholarship Zoom. The email said, the scholarship committee is eager to design your customized award. Your next step, click here to schedule a 15-minute Zoom scholarship meeting with a member of the admissions office. During this call, we will learn more about your background, financial challenges, priorities for your legal education, and career goals. The committee will consider this information as they design your holistic award. Nathan just rolled his eyes.
Well, I mean, it's just price discrimination. That's what this is. Like they call it scholarships, but it's really just a discount. And what we're really doing here is we're settling on a price. They've already chosen to admit you. Now they're going to figure out what price they can charge you. And to be clear, they want to charge you the maximum that you will pay. You, as a buyer, want to pay the least you can pay. So you're negotiating over price. They're framing it as a meeting to customize your award or whatever they want to learn. What they really want to learn is how much can this person pay? How much is this person willing to pay? And by the way, your background, financial challenges, all that shit, that's not going to impact, because they know that you can borrow up to the full amount. Like there is no limit to how much money you can borrow for tuition. So they don't actually give a shit about your financial challenges. They might pretend like they do, but they're really going to just be, all they're doing is they're trying to figure out, okay, how many other offers do you have?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's read how Anonymous handled this meeting and then see. Yeah. I want to hear your thoughts on how you would have handled such a meeting.
Anonymous continues. One interesting bit, however, is a comment my interviewer made about stipends. They went out of their way to tell me that unlike many other grad programs, stipends in law school are very rare. WashU gives a stipend to 10% of its students.
You know, it's funny. Somehow my interviewer neglected to mention stipends. I don't know. I mean, I'm below their median in GPA. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but somehow that did not come up in our conversation.
So Anonymous has stipends. Anonymous has very, very good numbers. Okay. These are numbers that are significantly above WashU's medians for both LSAT and GPA. And so they're going out of their way to talk about stipends when they talked to Eric, who does not have LSAT and GPA that are miles above their medians. The stipends just didn't come up. Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. So you're not in the top 10% of those people.
Nope.
Is all that means, which is fine. That's just, your numbers are what they are. And they're going to give a stipend to the top of the top to try to really recruit those people who, have the numbers to get into Stanford and Harvard and Yale. When asked if I had, Anonymous continues, when asked if I had any questions, I just said something along the lines of, not really. I've been looking at the 509, so I don't have much outside of that. The fact that you casually just mentioned the 509, like you're giving away more information than you realize there when you say that, which that could be good or it could be bad, right? But you instantly vault yourself to like the top 5% of applicants as far as savvy goes
Yeah.
when you just casually toss out the ABA 509. I mean, that it is a consumer protection document, which everyone has access to. If this is the first time you're ever hearing about it, probably the easiest thing to do is to go to lsatdemon.com/scholarships. Our scholarship estimator has links to all of the 509s for all the schools. You could also just Google Washington University Law 509
Hmm.
and it'll be one of the first results. It's a PDF. It's complicated, it's hard to read. That's why I would recommend that you go to our scholarship estimator first, because we've kind of made it a little bit more visible so you can see what the actual prices are that people are paying.
Yes.
Um, okay, so Anonymous continues. I genuinely didn't have any questions, and I guess I wanted to imply that I would want a stipend from WashU. When you said, I've been looking at the 509, if you're looking at the 509, then you know, like you're telling them, I saw that you give more than full scholarships to a certain percentage.
And I am aware that my numbers are
And I'm aware
numbers
that
that
my
you
numbers are
want.
way above your numbers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Anonymous says, I don't know if that was the right approach, but it's what I came up with in the moment. Oh, and that's their whole email.
Yeah. What do you
Was there a
think? How
question?
would you approach this email? Or how would you approach this type of meeting?
Different people are going to operate in different ways,
Hmm.
so you got to be yourself. But yeah, I mean, I think the reality is if I had numbers this high, I would probably be pretty bold. They've already admitted me. So, it would be like, look, I have better offers.
One thing that's interesting about WashU, and this will depend on when you apply, but WashU is a school that gets out there really early.
Yeah.
So what I did this year, which maybe I would rethink, is I took this meeting before I had any other offers.
Yeah, that I would not do.
Yeah.
I would push it off. I'd be like, "Oh, you want to make me an offer? Make me an offer."
Hmm.
But I don't want to sit down with you. Like, you have asymmetric information. And you have asymmetric savvy.
Yes.
So like even me or Ben sitting down across the table from these people, like we kind of lose the second we sit down because they have vastly more information than we do. And we can't, like, they're not likely to give out that information. I don't know. I just don't think, unless we were really, really prepared, I don't think we're going to get much out of it. That said, though, what do you really have to lose? Because you can always go back to them. Like, if you're not happy with the
Right.
offer you got, you just go back to them and said, oh, yeah, but I did now get into whatever school. And like, you say it nicely, right? You don't have to say it with a dick tone.
Mm.
So you don't say, I have better offers. You say, you know, you say, price is going to be really important to me here. Financing is going to be really important to me, to my family, to whatever. I want to reduce. I'm hoping to graduate with zero debt. And to the extent that I'm going to take on any debt at all, I have been admitted to, and mention one or two schools,
Hmm.
and you say something along the lines of, if I was going to incur any debt, it would probably be at one of those schools.
Right.
But I think you could also just say, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with saying, um, I I see here on your 509 report that you give more than full ride scholarships to 10% of your class.
Hmm.
And that's what it's going to take.
And I think, as in any negotiation, the most powerful move that you can bring out is just the willingness to walk away. If you're committed to
Yeah.
WashU, and if WashU is your dream school and that's really the only place you'll go, then you'll always have less power. But if you can
Yeah.
just say, yeah, I have lots of really great offers and I
It's going to come
can't see
down to price.
I can't see myself going to WashU without this kind of scholarship,
Yeah.
then, if I'm on the other side of the table, I feel like I would appreciate that honesty. There's a way to do it in a diplomatic way, but
Yeah, just you're not trying to be their friend. I mean, that
yeah.
the thing I would say is like you don't need to be a dick to them. You certainly don't want to just like abuse them or like leave a bad taste in their mouth,
No, of course not.
but you're negotiating over price. There's no mistake that you're negotiating over price. That's
Mhm.
what you're there to do, is to negotiate over price. Or, they're the ones who started it out on a kind of a shady, like, we want to customize your holistic award and we
Well, it
want
is
to
a
know about
sales
all this
pitch.
bullshit.
It is just another sales pitch.
Well, yeah, because the second you tell them what your goals are, they're going to then tell you how WashU can help you to reach those goals.
Mhm.
And that's what they're really trying to do, is to get you to say yes. And they also want to get you to say yes at the lowest possible price. So if you come in, like, here's what happens a lot: people come in totally naive and they just give away the whole game. Like, well, my wife and I have a house in St. Louis and we have 4 kids in
Mm.
school, and WashU is by far my number one choice. Well, that's not going to be good for your, like, you think that maybe they're going to like that, they are going to like it. They're going to smile and they're going to be all super happy. And then next thing you know, you get one of their worst scholarship offers
Right.
because they know that they have a captive audience.
Mhm.
But when you come in and you say, I have offers to schools that are in the top 14, or if you just go ahead and name drop, I am in at University of Chicago. To be clear, the only scenario where I would go to WashU is if I was given a very generous financial offer. And I don't like, now they're not going to like that, but who cares what they like? I mean,
Yeah.
the odds are, even if you go to this school, the odds are slim that you're ever going to encounter this person again. That, like, their job is to sell people on the school. They're not going to be in your classes. They're not going to be your advisors. They're not going to have any bearing on your, like, legal career. And so, yeah, you don't need to be a dick, but you can be direct. I think that's the only thing that I might do is, like, if I had a better offer, I would probably make it clear. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to need to give me the best offer that you're capable of giving me.
Yeah. And anonymous, I suspect that you will receive their best offer. And if you don't, and if you actually want to follow up and pursue that, I think you will have really strong grounds for continued negotiation with WashU. And I don't think you should accept less than a stipend from WashU with your
Just
numbers. No.
PSA, you can always mirror the language that they're using here. You don't need to say, I want to negotiate,
Yeah.
because they have policies. Oh, we don't negotiate these awards, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
don't say that. You say, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about my financial challenges
Hmm.
and my priorities for my legal education.
Yeah. I'd like to get some more information about your financial aid options.
Yeah, because, you know, they're going to present it to you as if you're getting the very best offer. And so WashU is going to give you the Presidential Seal of Magnificence award. And, but that all that nomenclature, look, what's the number? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're always going to present it, by the way, as if it's like, this covers everything, because loans do cover whatever they don't cover in terms of grants. But you need to, you can at some point make it clear to them that your goal is to minimize your debt, and that they're going to have to make you the best possible offer they can make you.
Yep.
And I think that, yeah, having those walk away points is hugely valuable. I've yet to hear anybody say what happened after they withdrew, like after they denied WashU.
What do you mean?
Well, I just know that there are instances where schools will chase you down after you walk off of the car dealership lot with, like, oh, well, actually, we do have a better offer than that. And so I just wonder whether, I mean, I know that WashU plays this game very aggressively.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there are any of those, like, post, you're like, oh, thank you very much. I still haven't decided where I'm going to go,
Yeah.
but I know that it's not going to be here because of the money.
Yeah. I'm sure it
And
depends
then,
on the applicant. For someone
yeah,
like me, I think they're perfectly willing to just let me go. Okay, cool. I could have another you in a minute. And in
because you're
fact,
like a
he'll
splitter,
be
right?
here in a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they look at you and they go, well, we've got these other people who are above our medians for both, and
Yeah.
ultimately that's how we increase. Like they would be able to maintain the reputation of the school with you,
Yeah.
where they want to raise the reputation of the school with somebody who's not a splitter, somebody who's above on both.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, like you're just going to have less walking away power. I think that's all I got for
Yep.
anonymous.
Well done. I wish I had your GPA.
Yeah.
Email daily at lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.